Hello and welcome to the Hidden Door live show. My name's David Martin. I'm the creative director of Hidden Door, and I'm going to be your host for this evening. Let's have a festival in 2021. What do you think? Don't know about you, but I need it. I'm missing it so much. I'm craving live performance and just to actually see some art. I'm missing that feeling in my chest that I get from loud live music, and not just the kind of seeing the bands, but the collective and shared experience. I was thinking back to like some of the first gigs I ever went to when I first started going to gigs, and such incredible feeling that I got from them. And it wasn't even just what the bands were doing on stage; it was the idea of being in this crowd of people, and this amazing connection that I felt with all the people that were around me. This group of complete strangers that we were experiencing something together, and it really moved me. It affected me so much, and I miss that. And I miss it so much. And that's why we just have to do it. I can't go much longer without this. So we have to bring live performance back. So we're going to do it this year. So we've been searching for a venue. We've been doing a venue hunt, sending out hidden door scouts all over Edinburgh, checking out any possible spaces we might be able to put some kind of hidden door event on. But not only that, over the last couple of weeks, we've been asking you for your ideas as well. We've been running a wee competition on social media to ask you for where you think might be a good place to do an outdoor event, and been looking for the best ideas. And I'm very excited to say we have a winner for that competition, and we're going to be announcing it later. We set ourselves the challenge of coming up with 21 ideas for possible outdoor venues, 21 spaces for 2021. You can kind of see what we did there. Looking for not just spaces and venues, but also maybe great settings, also looking at routes or journeys that might give us an interesting format for the festival. Kind of everything is on the table. We're looking at all our options at the moment. And we've listed 16 so far on social media. And this evening, we are going to list the final 5, and with the final one being our competition winner. And I'm just going to say in here, it is a doozy. It is a showstopper. It is amazing. So you're going to love it when we reveal what our competition winner is. But as well as tantalizing you with all this exciting venue chat, we're doing this because of live performance, and so it's really important that we bring that into the show as well. We've got some incredible live musicians for you tonight. I'm really excited to be able to bring you 2 different sets, one by Canadian emigre Jane Blanchard and another by Elgin-born singer-songwriter Siobhan Wilson. But not only that, we're also going to be bringing you a live dance performance, live, like it will be happening right there and then in one of our exciting locations, site-specific, happening right before your very eyes. We'll be bringing you that as we count down through the venues later on. So it will be worth the wait. But before we get into that, I think we should start with a little bit of live music. So straight away, let's listen to Jane Blanchard and her first song. Take it away, Jane.
I was the island I dived into, be reminded of ways that I blew it before you. Blind, I'm surprised you're still here. Kindly I held on to your notepad stuck behind you. All of the shit that you've been through the tough times that we had. Brackets stopped working, suddenly shelves started burning. They cannot hold on to me. I am the heaviest weight they've seen. do you not know how I've been awake for so long? I've made my mistakes, I've been wrong. I can barely pick up the phone. I was the only light that you saw at the movies, projected so squeaky clean. Was I your homecoming queen? I've mustered every word that you said past in 30. Honey, I am not what I seem. This dream is not meant to be. You called me Thursday of last week, I cannot speak. I am sorry to keep you waiting. This time I'm sure you will keep me here. This time I'm sure you will. I can't imagine that I can't. I won't, I won't, I won't, I won't. So I'll wait for you to come a long way out there.
Okay, so I'm delighted to welcome onto the show my co-host for this evening, Hazel Johnson. Hi, Hazel.
Hi, David. Hi, folks.
Well, I wanted to chat to you about this venue hunt. I found it a pretty interesting process. How have you found it?
It's been great. I've been an armchair tourist in my own city, which has been amazing. We're always on the lookout for new spaces and places, but this has really encouraged us to take a completely different approach, which I've thoroughly enjoyed.
It's been really interesting to see as well what the public have come up with as well. Some really great ideas. Interesting kind of how there's actually maybe not as many spaces in the city as you might at first think. That's one of the things that really struck me about it. At least spaces that would be suitable for a noisy multi-arts festival like Hidden Door.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the breadth and scope of places that we've been looking at it's been a really interesting exercise to do that. But there's so many things to consider when we select a venue and a lot to fit in. So bringing the festival outdoors adds another dimension, doesn't it? But it's been fun sort of taking a few flights of fancy and having a think about what might work.
Yeah, I think there's a kind of an outdoor festival in an actual city is a bit of a challenge. I think there's probably a reason most festivals happen in a field or, in pre-existing venues that are already soundproofed. But they're not an option for us right now. So I thought it would be interesting at this point to bring back onto the show Jane Blanchard, who we just saw playing some music, because not only is she a performing artist in her own right, but she also runs a festival. Imagine being an artist and running a festival. That sounds ridiculous to me. Let's get her on. Jane, bring her on the screen. Oh, like magic.
Hi, Jane.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
It's lovely to have you here with us. Thanks for joining us.
Here. Thank you for having me.
I've got a few questions for you about your festival. The festival's in New Brunswick, Canada, and it's called the Flourish Festival, I believe. Do you want to tell us first where New Brunswick is exactly and what's the festival like?
Sure. So New Brunswick is in Canada and it's right next to Nova Scotia. So from Scotland, what you would do is you would get on the plane, you'd go across the ocean, you'd land in Nova Scotia, and then you would drive for about 4 hours, and then you would be in beautiful New Brunswick.
Right, we'll be there next year. We're there.
Yeah, easy. I know it sounds like hopping on a plane is so easy, but right now it's not really a reality. And in terms of the festival itself, it is quite similar to Hidden Door in a lot of ways. It's an interdisciplinary art and music festival. We take over spaces. We do a lot of collaborations, a lot of different projects, just all of the weird and the wonderful, and just very much present what artists throw at us.
That sounds brilliant. No, we'll definitely try and make it at some point. But in terms of this year, how has the Flourish Festival been affected by the pandemic? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think very similar to Hidden Door, like we're trying to adapt in any way that we can and working with artists to present cool options and ideas that can be presented without being crammed into a sweaty room with 200 people, as much as we would all love to be doing that right now and moshing and just living the best life of sweaty live music. But we've been focusing a lot on like outdoor installations and digital stuff, a focus too on like print media, mail, radio, and kind of thinking about some forgotten mediums too, which has been really interesting actually. So been learning a lot.
You've been busy, yeah. I was going to ask what you got up to in 2020, but that really preempts my question. You've had a really busy year by the sounds of it.
Yeah, just, I mean, doing whatever we can. We're really lucky in New Brunswick. The city that Flourish Festival runs out of is Fredericton, and there's a great venue there, the Capitol Complex, and they've been doing some amazing renos to make sure everything is COVID friendly and COVID safe. So we're lucky to have spaces that are kind of doing a lot of the work for us in terms of safety measures. Because I can't imagine that's
we
so
should
stressful.
Talk.
Yeah.
We'd learn from your experience there, definitely.
It's also cool. They've made these like plexiglass containers and the lighting's just right. And they have like it's great. I'll get you in touch with them.
Fab, thank you. So from your experience this past year, and from what you've been hearing as well, what do you think will happen with Flourish next, from what you've learned and what you've been able to achieve?
Yeah, well, moving into 2021, we're just kind of rolling with the same idea, just presenting what we can do, when we can do, using projects that are flexible. So, you know, in the case of a band, telling artists, hopefully we can have you play on stage, whether that's to 200 people or to 10 people or to 5 people. And if not, we'll do a live stream. So I think it's just all about being adaptable and flexible, and making sure that live music and art is supported in one way or another.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm into that. So yeah, can we get a partnership going? And I volunteer to come and help you out.
Yes, 100%.
Definitely, I'm on that train too. So let me hear a little bit about we're going to hear another track by you in a second, Jane. I thought maybe you could tell us a bit about your music, maybe something about your creative process. When you're needing inspiration to come up with ideas, what's your strategy? How do you do it?
Yeah, well, I suppose it's kind of depressing right now, because I would say my number one inspiration for writing music is seeing live music. So, you know, when you go see an amazing band and then you come home and you're buzzing and you're just like, I need to write. I'm so inspired. I want to write a song like that. How did they do that? I need to figure out that riff that they were playing. And that really gets the juices flowing. I think in lockdown, it's been a very slow process. A lot of my songs just come from journal entries, and then I kind of write them and play them in a very therapeutic way. So yeah, it's been slower, not quite as exciting as usual.
Yeah, it sounds like you love live music almost as much as me. And when it comes back,
we don't need to have a competition.
when it comes back, Jane, who would you kill to see live?
Yeah, I was thinking about this. So many people, but really, I think when I break it down, the people that I would love to see live the most are my friends who play in bands, because I think there's just such an amazing energy when you go see your friends play on stage. And as much as, you know, I'd love to see the biggest bands in the world, I think there's something so special about being in a room with all your pals.
Sounds amazing. I'm going to make me cry. So we're going to hear another track by you now. I think this track is called Settle. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Correct. Yes. This song, it's called Settle. It's, I guess when you look into it, it's kind of about settling, whether that's in a romantic relationship or settling in other parts of your life. I think we've all felt like we've settled for something or someone else has settled for us. So yeah, that's kind of what the song's about, but also take from it what you wish.
Thank you so much, Jane. Lovely to speak to you. Right, let's hear the track.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you.
never see you. Honestly, I can't breathe. Settle for me. Settle with me one last time. Quarantine. Hope I'm better soon. When lucid, I miss you. Honestly, I can't breathe. Settle for me. Settle with me one last time. Right my flaws, trace them hard, but leave some space so I can break apart.
Okay, so now it is time for the venue chat.
It's my favourite kind of chat.
We're going to do a quick recap and go through all the venues that we've identified so far, and then the final 5. So Hazel, do you want to start?
Okay, so at number 1, and in the order they appeared all over social media over the past few weeks, we have the Water of Leith Walkways.
At number 2, we have the controversial Roslyn Lee Hospital. When we posted this one up, we had a few people getting in touch saying some dark stuff has gone on in that hospital. So I think we're probably not going to touch that one.
Yeah. Respect due where it is due. Okay, number 3, East Fortune Hospital, abandoned hospital number 2. Bit of a thing going on there.
Yeah, I got a bit of a thing for abandoned hospitals. It may not be the last time you hear about abandoned hospitals from us, but let's keep going. Number 4 was Warriston Cemetery, and likewise, this one received quite a few comments of people saying, an arts festival in a cemetery, are you off your rocker? So moving on.
And no, but sometimes it's good to look at a space or a type of space to really understand what isn't suitable. It's a very useful exercise. And as we said, this was something a little different. So worth doing, but yeah, not doing.
Definitely.
Me. Sorry. Number 5 now, Granton Gasworks.
Yeah, I quite like this one, actually. This was one I started to get quite excited about. I've got a bit of a thing for big round things made of metal, and this one does it for me. Number 6 was the Old
Town Closes. Sorry, that's you.
Hey, that's my lane.
All right. I'm just really excited about this one.
You quite like this one, don't you? Why do you like it so much?
I just love it. I love the idea of creating some sort of route through the Royal Mile as the spine and all of the closes and alleyways coming off that. Something really, really beautiful about using the city in its most, I guess, in its oldest and most sort of recognisable state. So yeah, I think that's a wonderful one. But yeah.
I don't know if it's a very well-known fact, but I used to be a ghost tour guide. That's how I earned my money when I was a student, and I used to hang around all these old town closes, dressing up in strange costumes. And
you're pretty spooky.
And so I find it really difficult to do a hidden door event without feeling like I had to involve some kind of haunted element.
Is that why you keep jumping out at us, shouting boo?
Yeah, pretty much. But there's some amazing spaces down the Royal Mile. What struck me about this one was just how many spaces there were that I hadn't actually explored before, even though I had been doing ghost tours for so long. So moving on, number 7 is St. Anthony's Chapel. Not so much a venue as maybe a bit of a dramatic setting. This was the idea that we might take on several different places dotted around Edinburgh and put on sort of impromptu pop-up performances using the dramatic settings that were in place.
Yeah, it certainly is dramatic, that. It's an amazing spot. Okay, number 8, we're switching up a little bit. Calton Hill, your favourite, David, after the last show, I believe. Spent enough time up there.
Well, we were supposed to do this one at a time, aren't we? I've definitely got this in the wrong order.
It doesn't matter, we've got this, it's fine.
Yeah, I like Calton Hill. I think it could be really good, although apparently some other festivals happened there at some point in the past.
Wonderful festivals.
Go for it. Go for the next one.
All right, okay. Cramond Island. Ooh.
Would anyone want to go out that far?
I wouldn't want to risk getting stuck.
I quite like the idea of being on an island overnight, as long as there's a bar.
Do we need a
Number
festival
10.
to do that, though?
Our 10th venue was Collington Tunnel, which I think would be quite a tricky venue to use, but it was quite popular in our comments and feedback from the audience on our social media, so some people really liked it.
It is an amazing space, and so many different people have created the colour and all the visual kind of. It'll be interesting and difficult, I think, actually, to put our own stamp on it because it's already so visually interesting. Okay, number 11, Camo Estates. What a place. And it's fantastic for walks because, that's all we do nowadays, isn't it?
It's got a pretty good tower. It's got a pretty good tower at Camo Estate. It would be very much a kind of outdoor festival kind of vibe there. But again, it's quite far out from the city centre, so getting people out there would be a bit of a trek. Something much more in the city centre is number 12. You kind of need the top of the pops music here to kind of like build up the charts. That's what we really want.
Copyright's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah. Number 12 is Lochran Basin, which is basically the canal area around kind of Fountain Bridge. It's actually pretty amazing kind of setting, and if we could get used to some of the kind of canal boats, it could be quite an amazing place to run.
I'm still pretty keen for a barge bar. I mean, there's something about that bar and a barge. Number 13, the Dynamic Earth Steps. Pretty special. It's already an amphitheatre. Don't need to build anything.
Ideal. Again, another good sort of setting perhaps to place some pop-up events in, which might be quite nice. Number 14, very different, is actually the New Haven Railway Path. Covered up an old Edinburgh railway from the mid-19th century. But there's some lovely kind of disused platforms, and the actual New Haven station itself is a really lovely kind of restored old sort of Victorian railway station. So some interesting spaces around there, and it's also very close to the Edinburgh Sculpture Workshop, which is a brilliant space for outdoor events. They've got a really big outdoor courtyard there. So there's actually something really viable, I think, with that one.
Okay. Number 15, Abandoned Hospital number 3. Bangor Hospital. It's a ways out. We have a team member that lives out that way, which is where we're able to get some pictures. But yeah, thoughts?
Yeah, it's again got a difficult dark past. It used to be an asylum, so I'm not sure we really want to kind of engage with that, but it's beautiful and atmospheric at the same time, so interesting. Number 16, we put this up the other day. This is Victoria Bridge down at the water of Leith. We love Leith, and right down at the bottom, down by the docks, some beautiful open spaces. It would be a great little kind of street takeover kind of place for a venue. But that's everything that we trailed on social media, but we still have 5 possible venues we thought would be worth flagging up.
Yeah, and it's worth saying there are other places that we're looking at as well. Bearing in mind, we're always looking at places, spaces, potential venues. But for this project, we tried as much as possible not to include sites that belong to private owners or developers or companies who we might be having conversations with separately. Sites that weren't very easy to access by our team, that was another consideration. But that doesn't mean we're not considering a few that we haven't included. So we do have a few extra goodies that we can't talk about as well. So watch this space.
So let's count down these final 5. So let's have some dramatic music going on in the background of your head. Number 17, Portobello Beach is it time? Is Edinburgh ready for a hidden door beach party? There's been lots of exciting things happening on Portobello Beach. In fact, Portobello Beach is probably the busiest place in Edinburgh during lockdown. Obviously, some media have done events there. You've got Porty Art Walk, who do an amazing job of outdoor events every year. But could Portobello Beach handle the hidden door treatment? Watch this space. We could bring something exciting there.
Watch this sandy space. Number 18. Rooftops, David. More rooftops. Honestly, every year David wants to put a bar on a roof somewhere. So one day we're going to do it, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have been the one talking about this one. This is like my dream idea. You know, if you don't want to get sand in your shoes and you want to rise above the heights of the rest of the city, there's some amazing rooftops around the city. Not just Ocean Terminal Car Park, which is one in the picture, but there's like, we were on the top of the roof of the biscuit factory the other day, and it's got a great roof. It's crying out for a rooftop bar. So if we can't do events inside the venues, do events on top of the venues.
It's a really good
solution.
It's a really good shout. I mean, this city has some of the most amazing skylines. It's iconic, instantly recognizable. So I think rooftops this time round are a good idea.
Okay, so we're coming up to the last 3 venues now. So what's number 19, Hazel?
Okay, I love this. New Hales House, or New Hales House and Gardens. It's owned by the National Trust for Scotland. It's a stunning 17th century Palladian house that played a really prominent role in the Enlightenment. There's wooden walks, beautiful grounds. It's an amazing building which would act as a fantastic backdrop for performance. And importantly, there's plenty of space, lots of it. But, you know, not coming on too strong with that one or anything.
It's an amazing place, just to kind of wander around the grounds, and the house has got such an incredible history as well. So watch that space, but also watch this next one, number 20, the mysterious disused railway line. We're intentionally saving the best to last here. We got very excited about using a part of the city that is outdoors but disused and hidden in plain sight. There's an abandoned stretch of railway running through the city, and rather than bang on about how awesome it could be to use it as a venue, we thought the best thing to do would be to show you. So we've arranged a very special impromptu performance, some dance to happen on the railway line tonight. We did check that it was definitely disused first, so there's not that much risk of a train rumbling past. And Tess Letham, our awesome dance expert, has gathered together a group of amazing dancers, Hannah, Venet, Sky Su, and Tamsyn Russell, just to play with the idea of a performance in that space. So let's go there now and see what it looks like.
Wow. That was quite something. That was amazing. Now it's time for our final venue. This one is our competition winner, and it is very exciting. It was actually suggested by two people, Eric Johnson and Alec McEwen. Hi guys, if you're watching, we'll be in touch with you separately to talk about your prize. And it's number 21. It's the Medelvik Car Factory Grounds. Woo!
Amazing.
And it is amazing. It really captured our imaginations. We have a pretty good handle on the city spaces, warehouses, brown site spaces, buildings at risk. And what makes it even more exciting for us is when somebody flags up a space that wasn't previously on our radar, or brings something to our attention that we didn't previously know about or haven't considered. So kudos, guys. It's very, very exciting indeed.
It's out in Granton. It's not that far from the amazing gas holder. And there's a big patch of ground right next to it. It's an amazing looking building. And we would love, the idea of being able to kind of use somewhere like that. And of course, the building itself is really interesting. It's got fantastic and amazing history. It's actually an electric car factory, and electric cars were being made early in the 20th century. So it's got a very interesting legacy, especially now as obviously everything is moving towards electric cars once more. There's a special resonance with the history of this building. And although we're not able to go inside, we did find some footage of the inside of the building. And we edited it together and put it to a little bit of music, courtesy of our friends, the post-coal prom queen. So we thought we would just play you a little clip of footage from inside of the building.
And my feet feel the bite of the
What a space. That is the kind of venue that absolutely gives me goosebumps. What I would like to emphasise, though, is that we are talking about the grounds of the space in terms of our potential venue. A lot of that footage was indoors. We are looking at the grounds, and it needs a lot of work. But what an exciting possibility.
Yeah, and we do have to also emphasise that you can't get inside the building. It's not safe to go inside the building.
Yeah.
So we just thought we'd show you it so you don't have to try.
Exactly. And we've definitely narrowed it down to a few favourites through this process. As you can see, it's really fun to get excited about the possibilities. But we do have to keep our options open. And nothing is set, nothing is certain.
So you have to stay tuned for further announcements to see exactly what is going to happen. But we are excited, enthusiastic, and confident that we will be able to bring you Hidden Door in 2021 because of this work that we've been doing. And it's so good to be able to say that. So if you want to come to a festival this year, we're going to do one for you, okay? I'm going to say goodbye to Hazel and let you go, Hazel. And
thank you for having me.
I'll take it from here. Okay, so it gives me great pleasure to welcome onto the show our next guest, one of Scotland's brightest musical talents. We were lucky enough to feature Siobhan Wilson in Hidden Door in 2017, but she's gone on to do amazing things since then. So we're really delighted to bring her back. So welcome to the show, Siobhan Wilson.
Hi there, thanks for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure. Just going to ask you a few questions, Siobhan, before you play your music for us. I mean, the pandemic has been a huge challenge to musicians all over the world, but I wanted to ask you how you've responded to the challenge. It seems to me that you've been very resourceful in finding ways to keep making music.
Yeah, I mean, we were sort of faced with, a kind of situation that we hadn't necessarily seen before. I had a lot of things lined up that suddenly got cancelled, and my life just changed from one day to the next. And I think everyone's felt the same way. Everyone's life has changed in some kind of unique way. And so basically I just thought if everything I had was cancelled, then I would try to continue online as much as possible. And I transformed like gigs that I would normally play live into live stream gigs like this one. I created a fan space on Patreon. It's patreon.com/fanspace. And I sort of got so much support from my fan base, and that kept me going. And they have built a whole community there. And so that's what I did first. And then I started doing podcasts on there too. Built up my home studio as well, so that I could record from home better, and just tried to pull everything that was like near to me, basically my Mac and a few microphones, and keep going.
It's really inspiring, actually, Siobhan, like what you've managed to do and just how you've kept going with so much resilience through it all. Pre-pandemic, you were working on lots of different things. You were touring lots. I believe you toured with the Proclaimers. Yeah, it's really good to have them as your support band. That's amazing. But you were also working as a composer. And you were working with composer Takeshi Furukawa at Noise Refinery, is that right? Can you tell us a bit about that?
I'm so glad that you're asking me about that, because no one's ever asked me about that before. And actually, it's on my biography on my website. And it's something I started doing after the pandemic happened as well. Because I was working from home in my home studio, I was able to connect with composers and writers across the globe. And so that's a composer who works in LA, and we collaborate sometimes long distance. I do little bits and pieces for him as a kind of like assistant, I guess. And I've got a classical music training from when I was younger. So I went to a classical music school when I was 16. So I can use that now this year a little bit as well. I get the cello out and the piano, and then I record that in studio and I sing. It's a one-man band here.
It's amazing. So what kind of stuff do you collaborate on with him?
Video game music.
Oh, wow.
I play a lot of video games. I'm a secret geek.
No way. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
I've wasted a large portion of my life on Skyrim. I don't know why I'm saying this. I don't want anyone to know.
I mean, oh dear, it's out the bag now. Our thousands of viewers will tell the world. I think that might actually make people like you even more, Siobhan. I'd quite like to ask you, moving swiftly on, about your creative process. Maybe about how you work. Like, do you like to have a deadline? Do you kind of stay up like 3 nights in a row? Do you lock yourself away in a room and obsessively listen to the same album over and over again? Like, what's your kind of process?
Well, I've got a bandmate now, McTavish the puppy. He's sleeping in his bed. I don't know if you can see him.
Oh yeah, we can, yeah.
He's here, and he keeps me on track when I'm not meeting my deadlines. He gives me a nudge. He's got a very strict routine. He gets me up very early in the mornings, so that is amazing. And then, yeah, I'm a bit of a hermit. I'm a bit of an introvert. I love being in the countryside or beside the sea to write and getting back to nature. And I think that's one good thing that's come out of of this last year, because everyone's got connected to nature a bit more, and we're a lot more aware of what's around us, and limited in where we can go, and so appreciating our surroundings in a different way. And it's actually so weird to say that to you right now, because it has been a year, hasn't it? And my last gig was exactly a year ago, I think last week, in Edinburgh in the La Belle Angel. And so yeah, my fan space on Patreon is 1 year old on the 18th, so I'm going to have a little anniversary.
Oh, brilliant.
A little glass of Prosecco.
Are you still welcoming new members?
Yes.
Excellent stuff. McTavish has gone off to sort it out now. He's going to be away emailing people and his dog account. We were actually, I was going to ask you as well about collaboration, and because obviously at Hidden Door, collaboration is something that we really excited about. We try and get it to happen as much as possible. And if you could collaborate with anyone, who would it be? How would you do it?
It's funny that you ask that, because I have been collaborating loads over lockdown with other female songwriters in Scotland. I started up a new collective with Ashley Steen from the band Fisty Muffs. It's called Powwow Scotland. And we collaborate with singers in Scotland. We've collaborated with Rosie Bands, Susan Bear, aka Good Dog, Laura Wilkie, the violinist. And so we do online song collaborations where we've worked out how to record completely remotely and send each other files. And then one of our songs has been played on Six Music a few weeks ago. The music only exists on our members' site. So we've gone full DIY. We're not on Spotify or SoundCloud or anything like that for now. And I think it would be really exciting to see what happens to the online musical kind of landscape of the way that indie and DIY musicians are releasing music, because there will be more and more of these kind of subscription-based systems. So please check it out.
Yeah, it sounds really interesting how you're building a community, and that's such a empowering thing to do. I know it's a great role for music to have, to kind of bring people together. Like what I was saying at the beginning of the program, really, it's the same sort of idea done in a different form. So really exciting stuff. Well, look, we want to hear you sing, really, to be honest. So do you want to tell us a little bit about what you're going to play for us, and then just fire on in?
I'm going to play 3 songs for you from the venue, which is the house that I stay in.
Great.
What is blood and what is dust? What is day without the dust? Unload the gun, don't go shooting with your eyes closed. The body has a battleground where no one gets to wear the crown. Unload the gun, don't go shooting where you don't know. She held a bullet and bitter. Time stopped, cameras focused. Somewhere was Saint David wishing for the league to turn dark before the Virgin Joan of Arc to reveal her leaving hour. Tiger, tiger, in the night, they took away her stripes. She learned to fight with neither fire nor light. And when angels gather and they sweep up soldiers from the ground, and when they reach the gate, they nosedive straight back down. They hold the bullets and bitter. Time stops, cameras focused. Somewhere was Saint David wishing for the league to turn dark before the Virgin Joan of Arc to reveal her leaving hour. What is blood and what is dust? The price is high for life, for lust. So unload the gun. Unload the gun. Unload the gun. Thank you. That was a song that I wrote recently called Unload the Gun. And this is My Kiss Is Not a Messenger. Can I say a huge shout out to anyone from my fan space who's watching the gig right now? Hello. My kiss is not a messenger. It doesn't wear an invitation. My love is not unbelievers. I asked you to tread carefully on the dreams I already saved from the fire. My love is nothing like a rose. It's a house that knows the sound of a bulldozer. My kiss is not a messenger. My lips don't wear an invitation. My kiss is not a messenger. It's haunting like a face in the clouds. It's begging for the sun to rise. My kiss is not a messenger. My lips don't wear an invitation. My kiss is not a messenger. My lips don't wear an invitation. My kiss is not a messenger. My lips don't wear an invitation. My kiss is not a messenger. My lips don't wear an invitation. Thank you. I'm gonna finish with a song called Terrible Women. Thanks for watching me, and thanks so much for having me at Hidden Door Festival Venue Hunt. Here's to hoping live music comes back again soon. I didn't mean to make you cry. The anger wells up in your eyes. I am the man I used to despise. I am a terrible woman. Have a happy heart, a simple life. Have all your friends right by your side during all of your most precious times. I'm sorry, but I have to say goodbye. I'm just not ready to fall in love. I don't want to be kept, don't want to belong to anyone. Does that make me a terrible woman? Truth be told, I liked you fine from the start, but clear as day, we were growing apart. Now I've only gone and broken your heart. The disaster is waiting to happen. Does that make make me a terrible woman? Should I have obediently buried my values under the ground? Should I have saved face and let our show go on? I'm just not ready to fall in love. I don't want to be kept, don't want to belong to anyone. Does that make me a terrible woman? I'm just not ready to fall in love. I don't want to forget. I don't want to be loved up by anyone except for him. Even after all these years, this is what it all boils down to in the end. Thank you very much for watching me on Hidden Door Live. Bye from me and McTavish. Bye bye.
Well, Siobhan, you might be a terrible woman, but you are an incredible musician. Thank you so much for that performance. That was absolutely amazing. And McTavish was absolutely brilliant as well, doing his part. Thank you so much for that. Guys, I hope that you've enjoyed it tonight, and I hope you've got a little bit of a fix. Some live music, some brilliant music, some lovely songs, a little glimpse into what might be the future. And hopefully you enjoyed the dance as well, just showing you a little taster of what it might be like to try and bring some of these kinds of spaces to life. That's what we love to do at Hidden Door, keep bringing things to life. So that's us for tonight. A huge thanks to the Biscuit Factory. A big thanks to Le Thug for letting us use their music for the dance performance and Paradise Palms Records. A thank you to Postcode Prom Queen for letting us use their music for the venue video. Big thank you to Tess Letham and the amazing dancers, Sky Su, Tamsyn Russell, Hannah Venet, and of course our awesome musicians, Jane Blanchard and Siobhan Wilson. You're probably all really wanting to know that McTavish actually has his own Instagram account, McTavish the dog, so you can follow McTavish on McTavish_the_familiar. So look for McTavish the Familiar, and then you can follow McTavish on Instagram. He would love to have more followers. Also want to thank all our venue scouts, our amazing comms team who've been fantastic through this whole project. Viva, Tio, Val, Cara, Jim, Dave, Dan, Hazel, Antoinette, Jill, Andy, everyone who scouted out a venue, thank you so much for doing it all. Our production and camera guys, Sandy, Vasilis, Katal, and of course Kostis for keeping it all together behind the scenes as ever. And all the Hidden Door guys have been working behind the scenes on this project. There's been such a huge amount that's gone into it, and it's been a real privilege to work on it with all of you, so thank you so much, and thank you to Creative Scotland for helping make it happen. So tune in next time. We've got another live show in 2 weeks for our next artist curated project, curated by the incredible musician and composer Esther Swift. We just keep them coming. You might have noticed that Scotland is full of talent. We've got to do something with it. And we're working on something pretty special for you in that project. It's going to be like nothing else you've ever seen before. That's all I'm going to say. And we'll keep working through all these restrictions, trying to make something happen, trying to bring you things that keep you interested and keep everything alive as much as possible. So we will bring you something in 2021. We will do it. Watch this space. Finally, Jane Blanchard is going to play us out with her final song for tonight, Take Me Home, appropriately. Take us home, Jane.
Wrap it up.